Yeah. Good morning, Leominster. Welcome to Cityscope, and it's that time of year again. It's that time of year again for the all-school musical play. I can't believe, again, I just talked to Mr. Landry. He said 20 years he's been at this, 20 years.
Yeah.
And we're doing Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
Yes.
And seems like we just did that, and you tell me it was over 6 years ago. I mean, wow. Time certainly does fly. Not for you guys, because you were all in diapers first time. Well, not even the first time they did it, you weren't even a twinkle. You were just like in heaven somewhere. But anyway, the all-school musical, boy, you're all smiling, and Beauty and the Beast. So why don't we start at this end with Elizabeth, and just like, and in the back row, you're going to have to pass the microphone when it gets to you. And just introduce yourself and give us a little idea of the role you're playing in the play, okay?
Okay.
You're on.
I'm Elizabeth Mahoney, and I'm playing Belle. She likes to read, and a lot of people in her town don't like that she's intelligent, and she wants more than that.
Next.
Waiting.
I am the Beast. That is a...
I just saw a little bit of the Beast come out, right?
Beast.
Yeah.
So I am your classic Disney prince.
Yeah.
Cool, strong man, I would like to think of myself.
Go for it. Let's see.
I was transformed by a magic enchantress because I did not let her stay in my castle. So,
Oof.
and now all of my castle has talking items who used to be my servants, and I have to have true love to break the spell. So that's
I'm Gavin Robillard, and I'm playing Gaston. So Gaston, he lives in this little village with all these different villagers, obviously, and he has this desire to marry Belle, but Belle doesn't love Gaston. He loves the Beast. So that's a big conflict in the story that I have to face.
Okay, hi, I'm Jalissa Pyle, and I'm playing the role as Lumiere. And Lumiere, he's very, I would say, very relaxed and calm, and he's more like the head of the dining room, and he takes care of all the food, well, not really the food, but he takes care of all the stuff that you need to worry about, so.
I'm Christine Evans, and I'm playing Cogsworth, and Cogsworth is just everywhere. Like, he's everything at once. He's kind of the stress taker of everything in the castle. Like, he's just worried about everything, and he wants everything to be perfect. He's worried about everything as well, and he's just super wound up. He can't, like, let go of himself. He's your classic, like, Englishman. He loves his tea. He just loves relaxing, and he can't because of the spell that's on him right now.
Okay. And this spell affected everyone in the castle.
yes.
Yes.
Next.
I'm Sarah Hall, and I play as Mrs. Potts. I would say Mrs. Potts is a very delicate, nice person that cares about everyone. She can be scared of the Beast sometimes, but then she starts to get used to everything and just is very nice and kind and likes to meet new people.
Hi, I'm Angela Blank, and I'm playing Babette. And Babette is she was a maid, and she's kind of like the comedic character, and she's the house flirt kind of. So she has a thing for Lumiere, and Lumiere has a thing for her, and she kind of just like, she likes to be funny and dramatic. She's a very melodramatic person. So yeah.
Madame de la Grande. Perhaps you've heard of
I
me.
want to switch places. I want you to sit here. I think you're doing that. Keep that in mind. You can do your own show. I mean it.
Madame's like she's like the noble person of the castle, just like the opera singer and very like well-known.
But you didn't even give us your name, did you?
Oh, I'm Kimberly.
Hi, Kimberly.
She's so focused on being a wardrobe.
And I'm Rachel Twiss. I am the director for all these lovely middle schoolers in this production. Sometimes.
Now, Rachel, you work in the school system too, or did you?
I do. Okay. I am a 7th grade ELA teacher at Skyview Middle School.
Now, when you say ELA, what does that?
English Language Arts.
Okay, but see, when we were in school, it was just like English literature. Now it's like
it's all the grammar too. Yeah.
So for us old people who have to deal with the new math and everything, we can't even understand what the classes' names are. It's like ELA. It was like, yeah, baby, ELA. Well, anyway, we're doing Beauty and the Beast, and you just live in the town. You're just a happy-go-lucky, wants to be an intelligent, more than what the stereotypical woman of that day and age was. So you have an affinity for reading, right? And they look down on you because you're like, you're a 21st century woman in a whatever century this was presented in time frame. And Gaston has got a thing for you. Gaston, what do you see in her that you want? Do you really see something in her, or is it just that she's the cutest chick in the bunch and you want her because you're the man?
She's the cutest chick, I have to say. Because, I mean, like you were saying, to be intelligent as a woman in that time, it was very wrong for people. And really, Gaston, he's not really interested in that. Just the looks, you know?
So basically, he wants her because, not because there's any like real love, because it's another conquest. Because I know he's a hunter and he likes to hang his trophies on the wall from seeing the movie.
Yeah.
And she would basically be another trophy.
You're right.
How do you feel about that?
Not good.
Okay. You don't want to be his trophy.
No.
Okay. And when you originally go to the castle, why do you go there?
So Belle's father ends up getting lost in the woods and he finds the castle.
Yeah.
And then I find LeFou wearing his scarf. So I ask him where he found it, and then I find my way to the castle, and I end up taking my father's place, and that's how I get in the castle.
Okay, so you make a deal with
the Beast.
The Beast to take your father's place, in other words, you become the prisoner, okay? And do you see anything in the Beast right away, or does it take some time?
Oh, at first she's really scared of the Beast because, well, he I don't know. He makes her be a prisoner and doesn't let her say goodbye to her father. So.
Wow, you're a meanie.
I'm sorry. Someone comes in my castle, I gotta.
Now,
Don't blame him.
when you originally get her as your prisoner in exchange for her father, true love is going to get you out of this spell. Do you see anything there, or is it just like this? Does this develop over time too?
Yeah, it sort of develops over time, more in Act 2.
Yeah.
Not Act 1. So I personally think that there's been so much people in and out of these castle over the years that I just kind of give up hope of her. So I'm just more annoyed that she's in the castle than going all googly-eyed at first.
Yeah. And at first she's just another chick prisoner in the castle, but what is it that you think you relate to? The fact that she's intelligent, or the fact that she's the cutest chick in town, like Gaston likes?
I feel like it's more of we were both frowned upon.
Okay.
Because I'm the big beast that everyone's scared of, and she's this intelligent person that everyone is angry at for being that way.
Now, why
just that similarity?
Why were you punished? What did you have some trait that needed to be worked out?
Yeah, I was supposed to be this greedy prince who always taxed the village and stuff, and I had no love in my heart. So when an enchantress came into the castle, and she disguised herself as this woman that needed like shelter from the cold, and when I turned her away, she saw inside me and learned that there was no good inside me, so I was punished for that.
Okay. Now, all the other characters who were basically human beings at one time, stuck inside of a lamp, a feather duster, a wardrobe. Are you hoping that something will come out of this, and do you play like matchmaker? Can you each take a part, and do you?
Sure. So basically, when we are still enchanted objects, we're so worried and afraid. First, we are so certain that we will become human again, and then at the other part, we're like really worried. So when I don't know how to explain it.
You work together to
We like try to
initiate a love connection?
Yes, we kind of like all try to figure out ways to like get them closer together, because like this is our life is depending on this, and it would just make us human again.
Yep.
So we would try to think of every possible way, I guess.
You know, one of the things one of the big questions is that, like, why did the other people in the castle, why were they, like, blamed for it as well? Over the time, we realized that we could have stopped him from being the way that he was, the Beast. Being this selfish, very manipulative person, we could have stopped that. And I think that, yes, we're trying to make ourselves human again by helping him, but by helping him, we're also trying to kind of reclaim the guilt that we have for not helping him in the first place. Because you can't entirely put the blame on him, because around this time, he's about a child. Mm-hmm. And we're the adults that could have helped him, and we didn't. So it's like we're reclaiming our guilt by helping him.
I got a question that came to my mind, but we're going to go over there first. I'll probably forget it, but go ahead.
I think the reason we got punished was because we didn't help stop him for being who he was, but then we also could have helped, and I don't know, we could have helped, but we somehow just didn't help him. But then once Belle enters the castle, we know that this is our chance, and we might not get a second chance to help, so we have to take this opportunity to use it and get him back to his old self, not the greedy old self, but his human form.
Yeah. Now, Mrs. Potts, right? Mm-hmm. Now she comes across to me, and again in the movie, as the motherly figure.
Yeah.
So, is there any special guilt that you feel as this mothering, the mothering nature that you have for having failed him? And I know that's kind of a deep question, but that just.
It's because I'm the motherly, Mrs. Potts, and I have to, help people see, what's right and what's wrong, and, I have to, help people see that, and I was, I didn't do that, and so, that's what I need to help him see, that you can't do this, you can't do that, but you can do this, and you can do that. I have to help him, see, what's good versus, what's not good.
And Babette.
Yes.
Where are you?
So I think for Babette's perspective, at first she doesn't really like Belle because Lumiere is trying to get with Belle instead of me.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you two got something going.
Yeah.
The subplot. You got your own thing going.
Yeah, we kind of got our own thing.
Let them do theirs.
Yeah, so I don't have many interactions with the Beast or Belle, but I think Babette slowly realizes that if she wants to be human again and do all the things she used to do, she really needs to help them get back together and everything. And I feel like all the enchanted objects were very dependent on each other to get back to our human form, and I think it's very important for us to be able to do that. So I think for Babette, it's hard at first to break out of her shell and let Lumiere kind of explore that, I guess. But I think I realize it's necessary if we want to get back to how it used to be.
Go for it.
Well, my character is very unaware of what's going on because she's kind of stuck in the bedroom.
Okay.
Because she's so big. And me. But she gets Belle kind of out of her shell at the beginning like saying that the Beast isn't such a bad fellow, and then she doesn't really realize that till Act 2. But it's like the wardrobe who's like, oh, like he's not such a bad person. Like you just need to get to know him better. Like
I just had a revelation when you were talking. You're the wardrobe, and you said you were stuck in the bedroom. So you saw these traits in the Beast. Is it because you had that little intimate thing where maybe he was alone in front of the wardrobe, or you got to see some of that other people didn't see?
it might have been before the Enchantress came.
Okay.
Like because being like a very like noble woman, it's like you've seen a lot of like really men like trying to like, you know, but like it could have been like some of his personality that just had its flaws, and like it just, some of it's good and like some of it's bad.
It's incredible. Like you look at all the the Disney formula, and you've got a prince, you've got a beauty, you've got true love. All these things come into play. And can you believe I just completely lost the train of thought that I was going with this question? Gone. Totally. Completely. But let's get back to Disney. This formula, and it seems to work over and over and over again. And I'm going to have to jump ship on that thought. It's gone. See what happens when you're 63 years old and you don't feel good. They just come and go. Now I completely lost the second thought. So why don't you give us an idea of, or give us the dates and the times of the show, and then maybe it'll come back to me. I'll have some more coffee.
So the show is at Leominster High School at Cousins Auditorium. It is this Friday, the 29th at 7 p.m. and this Saturday, the 30th, at 2 p.m. as well as 7 p.m. Tickets are general admission. They're available at the door, and they are $10 for adults, $8 for students. If you want to purchase them beforehand, you can call either Samoset or Skyview Middle Schools, and they have tickets in the office.
Okay. Now, when I first came in and I saw you all sitting there before we came on set, I walked in and I'm expecting kids, and I says, "Wow, where's the kids? You're not kids. I mean, you're pretty much young adults." And when you say middle school, it's like, wow. You look a lot more mature than what I see as middle schoolers. I got kind of a question that I remembered, and it's got to do with the human condition. And that being, you're young. In reality or in fantasy, the play, you have a chance to experience both what a human is and what an enchanted being is. Yet you all want to get back to your human form. Being 63 years old, I keep saying, wow, if I was a feather duster, I might want to stick as a feather duster, then go back into being human with all the trials and tribulations and loves lost and true love and not true love and pain and everything. Now, did you guys ever think about anything like that? And feel free to jump in, or is this like way too deep?
Well, when I was thinking about it, those are all emotions. Like everything humans do and everything that we have to go through is just emotional. And even though we're enchanted objects, we still feel emotions. So you still have to go through those trials, and it's probably even worse because who's gonna go out in public looking like a huge clock? I'm a whole triangle. I'm not doing that, okay? It's like everything we do is emotional. So all of our thoughts and feelings in the musical, they all have emotions behind them. That's why the Beast is so, he pushes people away. It's his emotions. That's why Bella's so passionate on wanting to read and write, because she has those kinds of passionate feelings. Everything is feelings, and we still have those. It's not that we want to be human again because we want to have those trials again. We want to be human again so we can live as normal people without having to worry about being outcasted.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're going to be a director. I can tell. Anyone else want to jump in? You can go next. Go ahead.
Yeah, you can go.
You guys get something going anyway, so.
So I think at first when we're in our human form before we get transferred into our enchanted form, we kind of take advantage of what we have. Like yes, we're working for the castle, but we get to live in this amazing castle, even though our master isn't the nicest. But we do kind of get spoiled, and I think we take a lot of advantage of that. So when we do get transformed into our enchanted form, we really take a step back and realize we really did take advantage of it. And I think that's where the need and want to go back to our human form comes from. And I feel like it's a really rude awakening for some of us, because some of us don't handle it as well, and we get sad. And I feel like it's just kind of good for us to see. Obviously, we're not these real people, but I feel like if we were, it'd be good for us to see that not to take advantage of things, because you will soon realize that your life isn't that bad as it may seem.
Yeah. You want to go?
And yeah, so usually, like personally, I would obviously definitely still want to be a candlestick. I think it would be amazing to be a candlestick for some reason. But like it would, after when the enchantress comes up and like does the magic spell, and we all turn into enchanted objects, we become scared because we don't know what's happening. And after a while, then again, you start to take advantage of your skills, and you get to feel more comfortable. But also, it would be kind of, I don't know. I feel like if I were Lumiere, I would probably feel very bored, because it would be 10 years waiting in the castle, can't go out, have to keep it a secret, always has to listen to the master, and it would just be torturous for me with no one to invite to be our guest or anything. But yeah, it would be very, very sad. That's probably why if I were Lumiere, I would definitely want to be human again.
You would be. Okay. Anybody learn a lesson from the transformation from from human to beast, and then from beast back to human? Excuse me. What's the lesson that you learned?
We were on the topic of guilt later, and I feel like the beast feels responsible for like almost destroying everyone's lives in the castle, and he just really wants to become human again. And he learns a lesson that you just can't go on like this, like constantly running people down. You need to be a better person, and he's striving to be human again so he can take that first step into becoming a nice person.
And Belle, I don't know what the lesson you learn is, because you seem to have been like the quintessential perfect person before and after. I mean, you're always dedicated to your father. You were dedicated to books. And did you learn anything in your relationship with an ugly beast? Did you?
I think it made her more open-minded, because at first she was just really frightened of the beast. But after like the wolf attack, she realizes that he's a good person.
Okay. And Gaston, you didn't learn a thing, did you? You just let ego get in the way. You didn't care. Did you learn anything, or did you basically you're just all testosterone and that's all you cared about?
Mostly just testosterone.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just such an arrogant person.
I love it.
Gaston,
At least he owns
What a role.
But no, I think maybe Gaston was maybe the easiest role that I might have done ever.
Really?
Yeah, because usually it's just, he's so full of himself, and it's so fun to be able to portray this role and not just being able to really just express who you are, I guess you can say.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds good. I mean, looking at Gaston, I said, boy, that would be a riot to play that guy. He's just so full of himself.
Yeah.
Ego, baby, yeah. Let's go for it. Well, anyway, the all-school musical, and it is this Friday and this Saturday. This Friday is the 29th of March, and this Saturday is the 30th of March. And on Friday night, it's at 7 p.m., And on Saturday, it's at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. at the Aldrich V. Cousins Auditorium at Leominster High School. That's one of the nicest auditoriums around, you know. You guys are really lucky. Yeah. And I knew Aldrich V. Cousins. Any of you know who he was? No, he was our principal. So every once in a while I get to sit down in his office and have a personal one-to-one talk with him. And it usually wasn't because I did anything good. But he was a good guy. Well, we can wrap it up now. And, you know, I wish you all break a leg because we don't say the other thing in theater. And number one, have fun.
Yes.
And remember to
We'll
enjoy your life. All right?
Definitely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.